the base, the foundation of what I mean by awakening is consciousness. Is recognizing consciousness. Is knowing yourself as consciousness. That doesn't need any practice whatsoever. It's very hard to say anything that applies to everyone. Mm-hmm. So rather than doing that, I can say that consciousness itself is already the case, mm-hmm. is the foundation of what you are. So this doesn't depend on personality. It doesn't depend on discipline. It doesn't depend on concentration. It doesn't depend on anything. So the awakening to that, in my book, is the foundation, is what's primary, what's most important. There are paths that say, unless you can abide, unless attention can abide there, then it's too soon to even look there. First do your ethics, then get your concentration in order, then be able to merge with your concentration object. You know, step by step. Yoga. Well, I guess there's certain yogas like that, right? There's like 8-limb yoga, I think is right. So you get rid of the things you're not supposed to do, cultivate things you're supposed to do concentration, then merge with the object of concentration. And at the end of that path, then you are fit, you have a fit instrument. Mm-hmm. And this is very much the traditional way. And it's valid in its own right. For those who have faith in those paths, that works. We live in a faithless age. We live in an impatient age. And you had trust in that particular tradition, and you started it, and you dutifully did every piece, and when you were at the right place, you went to your guru, and your guru said, yeah, good, you've passed that piece, now you go on to the next, now you go on to the next, now you go on to the next, and they produced awakened beings this way. Okay, here you are, now the ultimate. So yeah, if you didn't finish your yoga, then that was okay. And you know, and people actually, think about it, if the very first thing you cultivate is what you're not supposed to do, even if you don't, even if you only get to the second or third stage, you become a person who is not harming others. Gee, that's fantastic. It really is. And then the next one is cultivating virtues. Become a good person. The next one is concentration. You become somebody who has their life together, who can focus on things, who can follow through. In Buddhism, that's the way of the sutras. In Hinduism, that's the way of Vedanta. The highest teaching is the highest teaching. It's not something you give out right away. Even in Zen, where it's openly spoken of that that's the highest teaching and you can get it immediately means come to the monastery and sit for 10 years. And before you are allowed to just sit all day and night, you have to clean everything. And it was a lot of work for you in the monastery to to break down all of your resistance to life. You were forced into dealing with things. Since I don't know, maybe 100 years, less than that, 50 years. It's more than that. Ramana Maharshi was one of the first people giving the ultimate truth out to anyone who would come, immediately doing self-inquiry with anybody, even the unqualified. And he had some very advanced disciples who questioned him on this. And he said, well, I don't know what else to give them. I didn't do much practice. This is what I know. And you know, when the Tibetan teachers began teaching Dzogchen openly, it was, you know, there was some rumblings. It was a new thing. It was, okay, this is a different age. And there's a real danger of these truths being lost, because this age, things are moving so. The base, the foundation